नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोकिर्भक्तिर्भवती नैष्ठ। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। You are all welcome for continuity of our Bhakti Vaibhava study of Srimad Bhagavatam 5th canto, and we are in chapter 3, the Rishabdev's appearance in the womb of Meru Devi. So Maharaj Nabhi, the son of Agnidhar, with the help of a qualified brahmanas, was performing a karma kanda sacrifice, but the objective was to get a son, but that son must be like Supreme Lord. And in that sacrifice, out of causeless mercy of the Supreme Lord for his devotee, Lord appeared there in 400 forms. And when Lord appeared there, all the priests were very humbly, respectfully offering their obeisances and prayers. And the purpose of these prayers is that it is not because of sacrifice or our expertise in Vedic knowledge that Lord you have appeared, or else Lord you will not get, it's not that you need something that you appeared, you are self-sufficient. What we are doing as a sacrifice, even it is for our own benefit. It's not going to give any benefit to you. So your appearance is your causeless mercy. So Srila Prabhupada has written earlier in the first canto, when the first prayers were offered by Arjuna to Sri Krishna, when Ashwasthama released the Brahmastra, that's the first prayers of Arjuna to Krishna in the Bhagavatam. At that time, Srila Prabhupada writes, when you want really something from Lord, some benefit or benediction, the proper etiquette is to glorify the Lord, to please the Lord, and then put your request at the lotus feet of Lord. So these priests are following that principle. They are glorifying the Lord, they are pleasing the Lord, and in the last verses, that's verse number 16 and 16, 17, they will request the Lord that somehow this king, for whom we are Prohit or Ritvik, he has a desire to get a son. The desire is very insignificant, but somehow he wants son like you. So they then put their proposal before Lord. So we are reading the verse number 8, which is the prayer of Ritvij. Atmana evano savanam. This evano samanam anusavanam. Anusavanam. Atmana ev anusavanam. Self-sufficiently, certainly, at every moment, anusavanam. Generally, swadhino is like a day, every moment. Anjasa, the word generally Anjan word has come from Anjan, which means the some thing we put in a eye, like the mascara. So Anjan is stand in Sanskrit for something which is easy, which is simple. So it is for you just easy. It's something, it is direct. You don't need to make any effort. Avyaktirekena. Without stopping means it is continuous. Then nobody can stop. Bo bhuyamana, increasing. Asesha. Sesh means what is left. Asesh means complete. It means it's unlimitedly. Complete, full. Purusha artha, goals of the life. Swarupasya, your actual identity. Kintu, but. Nath, O our Lord. Ashisha, please benedict us. For material enjoyment. Ashasanam, of us who are always desiring. Etat, this. Abhisamradhan. Abhisam aradhan, forgetting your mercy. Matram, only. Bhavitum aharati, can be. So what they are saying, Srila Prabhupada writes, all of life's goals, Purusharat, and opulences are directly, self-sufficiently, Anjasa, self-sufficiently, Atmanam, unceasingly, Avarod, and unlimitedly, Asesh, increasing in you at every moment, Anu Savanam. See, all words are put as it is in translation. Indeed, you are unlimited. Indeed, you are unlimited enjoyment and blissful existence itself. As far as we are concerned, O Lord, Nath, we are always after material enjoyment. You do not need all these sacrificial arrangements. This is not in the verse actually. Prabhupada is giving the in-between meaning. But they are meant for us, so that we may be benedicted by your Lordship. All these sacrifices are performed for our fruitive results, and they are not actually needed by you. So this is actually a purport within the translation. Therefore, you see, Chakravarti Pad's translation is just the words only. O Lord Nath, you are directly, Anjasa, have form composed of Rupa, composed of unlimited human goals, Purusharat, Asesh, the highest bliss, which is the word for highest bliss, a form which continues without break at all times, should satisfy us who have desired for benediction. और एक सारी उसको मैंने कहा है 4 आदमी का रखिएगा, आने वाला है वो महाप्रसाद को, वो तो फिर बाल्टियाँ देगा पूरी या कैसे देता है आने वाले में सारी. So see, this is a Bhakt, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's translation is like words of the verse as it is. But Srila Prabhupada has given the meaning in between, even in the translation. This verse gives the reason. By yourself at every moment, directly you possess a farm composed of unlimited results, producing bliss, which exists without break. Though this is so, our worship should not be useless, because you possess everything. It should be satisfying for us who desire benediction. We are not doing it for you. So this is what is purport of Vishwanath, all that Srila Prabhupada has put in translation. Srila Prabhupada's purport. Being self-sufficient, Atmana, the Supreme Lord does not need huge sacrifices. Fruitive activity for some opulent life for those who desire such material opulence for their interest. So they need for their interest. Lord don't need this. This is the philosophy. Yagya arthat karmano anyatra loka ayam karma bandhanaha. If we do not act to satisfy Supreme Lord, we engage in Maya's activities. We may construct a gorgeous temple and spend thousands of dollars, but such temple is not required by the Lord. The Lord has many millions of temples of His residence, and He does not need our attempt. He does not require opulent activity at all. Such engagement is meant for our benefit. If we engage our money in constructing a gorgeous temple, we are freed from the reaction of our endeavors. Yagya arthat karmano. Anyatha karma bandhana. We will be free from karma bandhana. This is for our benefit. I think this is a very nice purport to preach when we want to construct a temple, that people donate to construct temple, they will be free from their bondage of the work. So it is for their benefit. It's not for the benefit of our society as such, because Srila Prabhupada started the society when there was no temple, but all temples are made by the people for their benefit, because they are getting benefit out of all these temples. Krishna don't need benefit. Even Prabhupada don't need benefit. This is for our benefit. In addition, if we attempt to do something nice for the Supreme Lord, He is pleased with us and gives us His benediction. So simply the whole purpose is, how can we please the Lord? The next benediction is not for us. We don't need any benediction. This is what Prahlad Maharaj says. If I do some worship and against that if I need some benediction, this is a businessman. This is Vanika. So I don't want to get. Even Lord Nrsimhadev insisted. Then Prahlad said, if at all you want me to ask for benediction, give me benediction that I should never ever ask for any material benefit. So the whole purpose of our Krishna conscious activities is to please Hari, Guru, Vaishnava. He is pleased with us and gives us His benediction. In conclusion, gorgeous arrangements are not for the Lord's sake, but for our own. What we can offer to the Lord? He is a Lakshmi Pati. He owns everything. If we somehow or other receive blessing and benediction from the Lord, our consciousness can be purified and we can become eligible to return home back to Godhead. So the next verse. Tad yatha balishanam swayamatmanah shreya param avidushan param param purusha prakrashah karunya swamahimanam chapvargakhyam upakalpyayushan swayam na pachitta eva tavad ihopalakshitah. O Lord of the Lord, Param Param Purusha, O Lord of the Lord, we are completely ignorant of execution of Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, the process of our liberation, because we do not actually know the goal of life. Bali Shanam, we are like a fool's child. We are like a child. We don't know really what is the goal of life. Moksha is upvarga. Because you have appeared personally before us like a person soliciting worship. But actually you are present here just to see, just so we can see you. It appears you appeared for the worship, but actually this is not the purpose. Purpose is that you are merciful, that you gave us your merciful darshan. You have come out of your abundant causeless mercy in order to serve our purpose, our interest, and give us the benefit of your personal glory called upvarg or liberation. You have come although you are not properly worshipped by us due to our ignorance. Apachittaha, not properly worshipped. Therefore, just as a wise person appears before ignorant, this is the analogy. Just as the wise person appears before ignorant people, you the person superior to all great persons, out of your causeless mercy, to give liberation in the form of realization of your glories, and all other benediction as well, have appeared here, though not worshipped properly by us. You have appeared like a person curious to see this sacrifice. You don't need any worship. You wanted to see this sacrifice. Then why have I been satisfied and made my appearance before you? Lord is asking them. Just as the person in knowledge appears before those who are ignorant, though he has not been called or worshipped, in order to deliver them by his mercy. You also, superior to all great persons, out of great causeless mercy, to give liberation in the form of realization of your glories, and as well all desired objects indicated by Cha, have appeared here, not from being worshipped by us, since we do not have bhakti. You have appeared here like someone who has come out of curiosity to see the sacrifice. Srila Prabhupada's purport. Lord Vishnu was personally present at the sacrificial arena. Some other arena you remember where Lord Vishnu was personally present? Yes. Some other examples where Lord appeared at the sacrificial arena?
Daksha's.
Yes, Daksha is the last sacrifice of Daksha. When Daksha got the goat head, and when Brahma pleased the Lord Shiva, then Lord Vishnu appeared at that place in Haridwar near Kankhal. There is one answer, yes. Some other sacrifice where Lord appeared?
Vamandev.
Vamandev is Lord Vishnu himself. He went to the sacrificial arena of Bali Maharaj, yes. Some other places? Fourth canto you have done?
Prithu Maharaj.
Yes, in the Yajna of Prithu Maharaj, Lord Vishnu appeared. And then Prithu Maharaj forgave Indra for his mischief. Yes.
In the Rajasuya Yajna of the Pandavas.
But Krishna was present personally there. It's not that he appeared. Yeah, Krishna was present personally there doing some service. Some other examples? Well, these are some coming in my mind. But some other examples if you can think of. Anyway, 4 or 5 is enough. But this does not mean that he had any interest in his own personal benefit. Well, I can tell you one more example just coming in my mind. When Dasrath was performing yajna, in Valmiki Ramayana, all the demigods came to take their part. At that time, Lord Vishnu appeared there. And all the demigods approached him that please now let us get relief from the tormenting activities of the Ravana. Then Lord Vishnu said, anyway, I am up here, you take your share and go, but I am here to give myself, and I appear here in the yajna as a Lord Ramchandra and my 3 other expansion at Dasrath. So this is one other place where Lord Vishnu appeared in the arena. Now Srila Prabhupada is giving us another dimension of this Lord's appearance. Similarly, the Archa Vigraha, or the deity in the temple, is present for same purpose. What's that purpose? For that same
causeless mercy.
Well, yeah, to show us mercy and accept our service. So deity is not there to show his opulences. Deity is not there to show his prowess. Deity is not there for any other person, for any other reason except to accept the service by the sincere devotees. Out of his causeless mercy, the Supreme Personality of God had present himself before us so that we can see him. Since we have no transcendental vision, we cannot see the spiritual Satchidananda Vigraha. And then quoted from Brahma Samhita of the Lord Satchidananda. Therefore, out of his causeless mercy, he comes in the form we can see in the deity form. We can only see material things like stone and wood, and therefore he accepts the form of the stone and wood, and thus accept our service in temple. This is an exhibition of Lord's causeless mercy. Although he has no interest in such things, in order to receive our loving service, he agrees to act as he does. We cannot actually offer suitable paraphernalia for the Lord's worship, because we are completely ignorant. This is priests are saying. It was out of his causeless mercy that the Lord appeared in the sacrifice arena of Maharaj Nabi. So in other words, what we can deduct from this purport is that in earlier ages, during the sacrificial worship, Lord used to appear and demigod used to appear personally. But since after the appearance of Dwapar Yuga, and after that when the deity worship is started, the deity worship was actually Dwapar Yuga's process of self-realization. So the personal appearance was diminishing day by day, and somehow Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted again the deities to be installed by his Stark World Goswamis. He wanted the deities to be installed and worshipped, and it is one of the most important angas of the sadhan bhakti, Shardhaya Sri Murtiya Sevaya, with faith serving the deity of the Supreme Lord. So in this present age, Lord's appearance in the form of deity is his causeless mercy. O most worshipable of all, Atha ayam eva varo hai aharatam. Aharatam means worship. And varo means the most, best. O most worshipable of all, varo hi aharatam. You are the best of all benefactor. Yarai barahishi. Okay. Vardha. Say Vardha Rishabha. Vardha Rishabha. Vardha Rishabh means benefactor. Yeah, it should be there. Vara. Varaha. The benediction. Hare Krishna. सब कैसे रखा है हरे कृष्ण? हाँ सब कैसे आ गया इसमें?
मीठा नहीं दिया, वो नाटक कर रहे हैं, लेके आऊंगा मैं।
क्या बोला?
बोलो खत्म हो गया।
हाँ
खत्म हो गया मीठा।
कौन बोला है?
वो अमरनाथ है। अमरनाथ है।
अमरनाथ बोला खत्म हो गया?
हाँ मैं जा रहा हूँ, लेके आऊंगा। वो
उससे अंदर उससे अमरनाथ खत्म बोलता है तो क्या ठीक वो
नहीं, वो बोल मैं देखता हूँ, ठीक है जाता हूँ।
ठीक है बेटा, हरे कृष्ण. Sorry for interruption. Okay. O most worshipable of all, Aratam. You are the best of all benefactor, and your appearance at saintly King Nabhi's sacrificial arena, Raj Rishi, is meant for our benediction, because you have been seen by us. You have bestowed upon us the most valuable benediction. Nij Purukshana Vishaya. Puru Ikshana. Ikshana means seeing. Ikshana Vishaya, object of sight. O most worshipful Lord, that you, best giver of benediction, appeared as the object of our vision in the king's sacrificial area, was our benediction. In any case, ask for benediction. Say, Lord says, well, anyway, you worshipped me, I appeared. Even out of my own curiosity, you ask some benediction. Then the priests are saying, most worshipable Lord, you have become the object of vision for your devotees. When you appeared in the sacrificial performed by the king, that itself is the greatest benediction. We don't need other benediction. This is the best benediction. Your appearance is benediction. So this is a devotional mood. This is a devotional mood. That you are benediction. We don't need any benedictions apart from you. So most of the time, some really pure devotees, when somebody give benediction, they say, we don't need it. You are there, what else we need? But then some very other different moments, they may ask for those benediction again. There are some examples also in the history like that. Nij Purusha Ikshan Vishaya. Nij Purush means devotee. Nij means person, Purush means the devotee. Ikshan Vishaya means to appear before them. And in Bhagavad Gita, Lord says, Krishna Samoham Sarvabhuteshu. I envy no one, nor am I partial to anyone. I am equal to all. But, however, whoever renders service unto me in devotion is a friend, is in me, and I am also friend to him. So what Srila Prabhupada is speaking, the Nij Purusha Ikshana Vishaya means Lord is partial to his devotee, though he is impartial. He is impartially partial. He gives everybody chance to become devotee, so he is impartial. But once one becomes devotee, then he is partial. And this partiality to the devotee is a not fault in the Lord. It is not a dushan, it is a bhushan of the Lord. It is the ornament of the Lord. It is called Bhakta Vatsala. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is equal to everyone. In that sense, he has no enemies and no friends as a Paramatma, as a super soul. Everyone is enjoying the fruitive reaction of his own work, and the Lord within everyone's heart is observing and giving everyone the desired results. Upadrishta, Anumanta, Bharta, Bhokta, Maheshwar. This is as a Paramatma. But as a Bhagavan, he is very much attached to his devotees. He is very partial to his devotees. As a Paramatma, he is equal. These all words are actually Upadrishta, Anumanta, Bharta, Bhokta, Maheshwar. Srila Prabhupada has paraphrased these verses from this verse of Bhagavad Gita. However just, as the devotees are always anxious to see the Supreme Lord, satisfied in every way. Similarly, Supreme Lord is very anxious to present himself before his devotees to satisfy the devotees. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkaram dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. I am not appearing really actually for establishing religion or killing the demons, but my main object is my devotees. They are so eager to see me and they are not satisfied without me, so I have to appear just to please my devotees. Other things are byproduct. Thus Krishna's appearance is for the deliverance and satisfaction of his devotees. Actually, he does not advent himself simply to kill the demons. For that can be done by his agents. Lord Vishnu's appearance at the sacrificial ceremony of Maharaj Bannabi was just to please the king and his assistants. Otherwise, there was no reason for his being present there. So Lord is equal as a Paramatma, but as a Bhagavan, he is very, very partial to his devotee. Verse 11. Asanga nishiddha jnana nala vidutta sesha malanam bhavata svabhavanam atma ramananam muninam anavarata parigunita gunagana parama mangalayana gunaguna kathitoasi. Dear Lord, all the great sages were thoughtful and saintly, munim. Saintly person incessantly recount your spiritual qualities. These sages have already burned up all unlimited dirty things, and by the fire of knowledge strengthened their detachment from the material world. Thus they have attained your qualities and are self-satisfied. Yet even for those who feel spiritual bliss in chanting your attributes, your personal presence is very rare. So nice words are there. Asang, detachment. Nishitta jnana, anal. Nishitta, strengthen. Jnana, knowledge. Anal, fire. So detachment and knowledge are the two wings with that the saintly person fly. Detachment, Gyan and Vairag. And Gyan and Vairag are byproduct of Bhakti. We have not to endeavor separately for Gyan and Vairag. Vidhuta, cleaned. Asesh, unlimited. Malanam, all dirty things. Actually, this is similar verse. Ye shamantagatam papam jananam punya karamnam te dvanda no nirbhukta bhajate mam dridhavartaha. So those are the only devotees who have burned their all sinful activities by punya. And they are always glorifying Supreme Lord. Foolish person think that they should pray for things other than seeing you. Though seeing you is very rare. But the wise do not think like this. Though you do not show yourself, you are the subject of talk concerning your qualities, which bring about the highest auspiciousness for the sages who have burned up unlimited contamination of material desires by the fire of knowledge, sharpened by detachment, who completely enjoy aramanam, you, with moods such as dasya, directed towards you, O Lord, whose qualities are recited repeatedly by sages. Srila Prabhupada writes, the priest in Maharaj Nabhi's sacrificial arena appreciated the personal presence of the Lord, Vishnu, and they considered themselves very much obliged. The Lord's appearance is rare even for great saintly persons who have become completely detached from this material world and whose hearts are clean due to constantly chanting the glories of the Lord. Such people are satisfied by chanting the transcendental qualities of the Lord. The Lord's personal presence is not actually required. This is a hope for us, because some neophyte devotee thinks, when can I see Lord? Krishna is present in His holy name. The Sankirtan Yajna is making Supreme Lord being present within the circle of the chanters. फिर क्या हो गया?
सब्जी को ला।
Hare Krishna.
मैं पा लेता हूँ। कब तक आएंगे सर्विंग करना? कब तक आएंगे?
अब आएंगे खाएं 12 बजे के बाद.
जी मैं बोल रहा हूँ।
So नाम से कली काले नाम रूपे कृष्ण अवतार यत्र गायन्ति मद भक्त तत्र तिष्ठामि नारद. So Krishna is already present wherever the devotees are chanting holy name. So we don't have to make a separate effort to see Krishna. Krishna and holy name are non-different. This realization is actually realization of Mahabhagavat. The deity is non-different than Krishna. This realization of Mahabhagavat. The deity is seen by materialistic as Jadmaya. It is made up of stone. It is seen by Jnani as Manomaya. It is a mental image. But seen by the devotees as Chinmaya is non-different than Krishna. So even the holy name and deity are non-different than Krishna. This realization is actually advancement in Krishna consciousness. The priests are pointing out that the Lord's personal presence is very rare, even for such elevated sages. Brahma could not see Lord when he went to pray to the Lord at the milk ocean along with Lord Shiva and Bhumi Devi and others. Even for Brahma it was not possible to have direct audience of the Lord. Many rishis are doing tapasya for millions of years and never have the direct audience of the Lord. But we are fortunate that you appeared here. But that he was so kind to them that now he was personally present. Therefore the priests were very much obliged. Verse 12. This is very nice verse for devotees' hope. अथ कथन चितः सकलं क्षुत्तः पतन जरम्भण दुरवस्थानादिषु. Therefore somebody is falling down, hungry, thirsty, yawning, even vivasanam, helplessly, na sumrana, if they remember you. What time? Jwara marana dasayam, when he is about to die and when there is a high fever. Api sakala kashmala nirasanani. All the sins are completely finished. Tava guna kirta nama dhyani vachana gaucharani bhavantu. a beautiful verse actually. It's not a verse, it's a prose. This usually poetry is a prayer is in poetry, but this is a prose poetry. Prose prayers. Dear Lord, we may not be able to remember your name, form and qualities due to stumbling hunger. Due to stumbling, hunger, stumbling, khalan. Hunger, chutta. Falling, patan. Down, yawning, vrajaman. Or being in a miserable disease condition at the time of death, jwara, marana. When there is a high fever. We therefore pray unto you, O Lord, for you are very affectionate to your devotees. Please help us remember you and utter your holy name, attributes and activities, which will dispel all reaction to our sinful lives. Very nice prayer. Very nice prayer. Even if we have unsteadily dull-minded minds, let us think of you, so that person like us who cannot remember you may remember you. May your names be available to us. Srila Prabhupada writes, the principle is real success in life is Ante Narayan Samurti. Ante Narayan Samurti. Where is this verse, by the way? Anybody can guess? You have done in your Bhakti Vaibhava. Ante Narayan Samurti.
Second canto.
Yes. Chapter 1. Verse maybe 5, 6, 7, 8, something, 7, 8, something like that. Right? Remembering the holy name, attribute activities and form of the Lord at the time of death. Ante Narayan Smriti. It's there. Second canto, chapter 1, right?
Text number 6, Prabhu.
Yeah, 6. Okay. So I said after 5. Because 5 is the sadhan bhakti. Vaidhi sadhan bhakti verse. What is the verse 5? Is the sadhan bhakti. Vaidhi sadhan bhakti's verse. Atha. No, therefore, Atha, it says Atha, I think. Tasmad Bharat Sarvatma Ishwaro Bhagavan Hari Sumartavyam Kirtatvam Sumartavam Yadichato Bhayam. Is this verse? Yes?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. Yes.
And this verse you have studied in Nectar of Devotion. In a Vedi Sadhan Bhakti. This is the foundation of Vedi Sadhan Bhakti.
Yes.
So this way of your mind, in your mind all these small bulb, this blunk, when you see the verse, then so many things should come in your mind. That is actually the purpose of this study. Although we may be engaged in the Lord's devotion service in the temple, material conditions are so tough and inevitable, Prabhupada is writing for us, that we may forget the Lord at the time of death due to disease, condition or mental derangement. Therefore, we should pray to the Lord to be able to remember His Lord's feet without fail at the time of death. When we are in such a precarious condition, in this regard, one may also see Srimad Bhagavatam 6-9, Ajamil calling Narayan, and 10 and 14 and 15. So, in your Swadhyaya, what is called, which Swadhyaya? What you do reading before coming in class, what is that Swadhyaya? Puro Swadhyaya. Have you opened the book and studied, at least found these verses? Huh? Anybody really has done endeavor? I just want to know. It's just honestly, anybody opened the book and saw these verses?
Not all, Prabhu, some of them.
Yeah, this is just a general answer, but as far as I know, I say if somebody has seen, then he is he is very rare. But Srila Prabhupada is giving this to us that at least we should see what is there at least. And what do you expect to be there? There should be only he uttered the name of Narayan. Open and see the verses 6 to 9, 10. Oh Krishna. Stena surapo mitra druga brahma guruka talpaga Sarihi Raja Pitra Gohanta. This is the verse. The chanting of the holy name of the Lord Vishnu is the best process of atonement. For a thief of gold or other valuable, for the drunkard, for one who betrays the friend or relative. So, this is chanting will destroy all sins. Why Prabhupada has given this verse? Because the chanting will destroy all the sins. There is a verse 9. I think verse 9, this is verse 9. And verse 10 is both are together. That's 14, 15. Sanketyam parihasyam va. This is another meaning. Same mood, same mood. Sanketyam, or just telling somebody, oh, Hare Krishna people are going there. It's not his chanting. But he's just giving a direction. Sanketya means giving direction. Parihasam, laughing. Like the people, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, the devotees were taking bath and chanting Haribol. And there the people belonging to other religion, they were joking, oh, they are saying Haribol. That's called Parihasyam. Means jokingly. Sthobham helanam va. So these are the... One who chants the holy name of the Lord is immediately free from reaction of unlimited sins, even if he chants indirectly to indicate something else, jokingly, for musical entertainment, or even neglectfully. This is accepted by the all learned scholar of the scripture. So Srila Prabhupada's purport, it means, is actually, how can somebody remember Narayan at the end if all his sins are burned? How the sins are burned when we chant holy name? In whatever condition. Patita sakhalito, same word is there. This is actually Prabhupada's genius. The word khalit here, Prabhupada has seen the khalit word in another verse. Same word is here. Patita khalito bhagan. Sandishta tapta atah hariri avasena. Avashena. This is also avashena in this word. The whole verse is similar to this verse. If one chants the holy name of Hari and then dies because of an accidental misfortune, such as falling from the top of a house, slipping and suffering broken bones while traveling on the road, being bitten by the serpent, being afflicted with pain and high fever, or being injured by a weapon, one is immediately absolved from having to enter hellish life, even though he is sinful. There were 4 thieves. There are 4 dacoits. When they were looting people, they had some code words. When they saw somebody coming from a distance, they used to say Narayan. It means some Nara, a human being, is coming. Then the other people will go near and he will say Damodhara. It means, Dam means wealth. He has wealth on his belly. In olden days, people used to hide their wealth around their belly. And the third person will say Vasudeva. it means bring the bamboo and beat him. And the fourth will say Hari Hara. It means, Hari means you plunder him, and Har means leave him. These were their code words. So they used to say Narayana Vasudeva Damodhar Hari Hara. And then it was all of a sudden lightning and thunder fell on them and they all died. And because they were chanting this name, even though these were their code words, but still they were relieved from going to the hell. So the whole idea, Prabhupada's whole, because of quoting these two verses, the theme of the purport is very clear. Ante Narayan Samaraniyarthi is only possible if the sins are eradicated. And sins can only be eradicated by somehow or other somebody chant holy name. So other thing which I usually appreciate in this verse is, for us, how can we remember Krishna at the time of death? We may not be. So the best advice which I always want to give to the devotees is, keep a good relation with devotees. When they hear that my condition is not good, they should come and chant around me and remind me of Krishna. There is only the hope. There is only hope for us. We may not remember, but we have good friendship and love and affection and care of the devotees now, that those devotees at the last moment will come and remind us of Krishna. And personally, I have seen senior devotees leaving body in Vrindavan. The big sannyasi and gurus postpone their all traveling program and sit for days and chant around that departing soul. So this is only the best course for us. Okay, I'm going to the next verse 13. Kinchayam Rajrishir Apatya Kama. Now they are coming to their point. Apatya Kama. He wants a son. Dear Lord, here is the great King Nabhi, whose ultimate goal in life is to have a son like you. Your Lordship, his position is like that of a person approaching a very rich man and begging for a little grain. Maharaj Nabhi is so desirous of having a son that he is worshipping you for his son. Although you can offer him any exalted position, including elevation to heavenly planet or liberation back to Godhead, but still he is insisting to get a son. Prajan Bhava Drisham. Bhava Drisham means like you. Bhava means you, Drisham means like. Ashasan, he wants benediction. Ishwaram Asisham. Swarga upward, you can give him heaven and but still he wants son, Prajayam. Phali Karshanam. Phali Akrishanam. This is the analogy. Rich man is lying a little husk. Not even grain, he asking for husk. My general way of saying this is, if Prime Minister come to your temple and he asks, how can I help you? And you say, can you arrange 1 dozen banana? Is this a wise thing to ask? However, purport says, however, though it is improper to ask, we ask you because it is necessary. The saintly king, the sponsor of the sacrifice, desires a son. Though he can get a son by worshipping devatas, he worship only you. But I will also give him swarga and liberation if Lord says. Fearing the Lord would say this. They say, though you are the Lord of swarga and liberation, fulfiller of all desires, he is fixed on begetting son, not on liberation. That is his foolishness. Just as man desiring some husk pursues a wealthy man, Desiring a son, he worshipped you. See his stubbornness. Srila Prabhupada writes, the priests were a little ashamed that King Nabhi was performing a great sacrifice just to ask the Lord's benediction for his son. The Lord could offer him promotion to the heavenly planet or Vaikuntha planet. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has taught us how to approach the Supreme Lord and ask him for ultimate benediction. Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim, kavitam va jagadisha kam. Mam janmani janmani ishwari, pavatada bhakti ahituki tvai. This is the real benediction. Even no liberation, only devotion. Birth after birth. Bhavatada bhakti ayituki tvai. He wants to be engaged perpetually in the loving service of Allah. He does not want promotion to the heavenly planet or mukti. Liberation from the material world. If this were the case, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would not have said Mam Janmani Janmani. It doesn't matter for a devotee whether or not he take birth, life after life, as long as he remains a devotee. Actually, eternally liberated means returning home back to Godhead. A devotee is never concerned about anything material. Although Nabhi Maharaj wanted a son like Vishnu, wanting a son like God is also a form of sense gratification. This line should be noted. And same thing you will read in the 10th canto. Vasudev, though doing austerity and asking son, Prabhupada said, why do austerity and ask son and give trouble to the Lord to appear as your son? Why don't you go back and serve the Lord in the Golok? So God is also a form of sense gratification. A pure devotee wants only to engage in Lord's loving service. Verse 14. Kovahi ite aprajatto aparajito aparajitya mayaya navasita padavya na vrittamati vishya visha rayana vrittah prakriti anupashitah maccharanah. Dear Lord, unless one worships the lotus feet of a great devotee, a very nice philosophical principle. Unless one worships the lotus feet of great devotee, one will be conquered by the illusory energy, and his intelligence will be bewildered. Indeed, who has not been carried away by the waves of material enjoyment, which are like poison, visha? Your illusory energy is unconquerable. No one can see the path of this material energy or tell how it is working. Devi Esh Gunmai Mama Maya Durtaya. That is the Prabhupada will quote this verse. You are free of Maya, but is there a person who does not worship the great devotee whose intelligence is not covered by unconquerable, indestructible Maya and whose nature is not covered by the force of material poison? So the theme is, without the mercy of devotee, there is no possibility of being free from Maya. But this is not the fault. It means if he is asking for son, it is not a fault. Why? Whose intelligence is not covered by your Maya. Everybody is covered by your Maya. Who have defeated Maya? Who has defeated your Maya? Nobody. Aparajita. Whose ways are not discernible. Maya, how Maya attract everybody, we don't know. And which is unconquerable. No one is free from Maya. He who worships the feet of great devotee, Mat Seva, is free from Maya. And this king has not had this opportunity. Oh, king has no good association of a devotee. So where is the word? Anupashita Mahat Charana. Anupashita Mahat Charana is a worship to the Lotus feet of devotee. Srila Prabhupada writes, Maharaj Nabhi was inclined to performing great sacrifices for begetting a son. The son might be as good as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but such a material desire, be it great or insignificant, is brought about by the influence of Maya. A devotee does not at all desire anything for sense gratification. Devotion is therefore explained as devoid of material desires, anya bilashita sunyam. Abhilashita sunyam. Why not abhilasha sunyam? This is not the part of this topic, but I'm just asking you a question. Why the word is abhilashita? Why not word abhilasha?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes.
Because we have an abhilasha. We want to serve we have the desire to serve the Lord. It is not that we have no desire at all. We are not abhilasha shunya.
Okay, that's also a very nice answer in one sense. We should have a desire for service, but not a desire for material benefit. Okay. But this is the greatest definition of bhakti. Say, abhilashita is a different nature of a desire. You have a good, very nice answer, but still there is another meaning when you are studying Nectar of Devotion. This was another meaning for that. Draupadi has a desire for her own modesty when she was disrobed by Dusasana. She was having a desire for protection from Krishna. Is it against devotion or it is Uttam Bhakti?
It is Uttam Bhakti. It is Uttam Bhakti.
And it is a desire also.
But sometimes he just desire.
Yeah, there. Now you are coming to the point. Abhilasha is some temporary, transient, in sudden emergency condition, we may ask God for some protection, but it's not a repeated nature for some material benefit. That is the difference between the two. And one joking example for this desire, abhilasha, is a foreign devotee, after taking a big feast, went to the Loi Bazaar and got a bit stomach upset, and he was praying, my God, please protect me till I reach to the home. So this is a good desire, but it is desire just not having any material benefit. So this is not against bhakti. So abhilashita and abhilasha has a different connotation. Everyone is subjected to the influence of Maya and entangled in all kinds of material desires, and Maharaj Nabhi was no exception. Freedom from Maya's influence is possible when one engages in the service of a great devotee, Mat Charana Sevaya. Mahat Charana Sevaya. Without worshipping the lotus feet of great devotee, one cannot be freed from Maya's influence. Srila Narottam Das Thakur therefore says, Charya Vaishnava Seva Nistarpai Shekeba. Who has been freed from Maya's clutches without serving the lotus feet of Vaishnava? Maya is aparajita, and her influence is also aparajita, as confirmed Bhagavad Gita, Devi Esh Gunamai Maya Durdaya. This divine energy of mind, consisting of three modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome. Only a devotee can surpass Maya's great influence. It was no fault on Maharaj Nabhi's part that he wanted a son. He wanted a son like a Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the best of all sons. By the association of Lord's devotee, one no longer desires material opulences. This is confirmed in Chaitanya Charitamrita. साधु संग सर्व सिद्धि के सर्व शास्त्र कहे लव मात्र साधु संग सर्व सिद्धि होए। एंड महत कृपा बिना कौन क्रमे भक्ति नाय, कृष्ण भक्ति दूरे रहो संसार नहीं क्षय। Is another verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita. If one is serious about escaping Maya's influence and returning home back to Godhead, one must associate with sadhu. That is the verdict of all scripture. By the slighted association of the devotee, one can be freed from the cultures of the Maya. Without the mercy of the pure devotee, one cannot get freedom by any means. Certainly, a pure devotee's association is necessary in order to obtain the loving service of the Lord. This is most important line. What do you think? Without the mercy of the pure devotee, one cannot get freedom from Maya. This is okay. Certainly, a pure devotee's association is necessary in order to obtain the loving service of the Lord. This line is most important. We will discuss. One cannot be freed from Maya's cultures without sadhu sangha. The benediction of great devotee in Srimad Bhagavatam, Prahlad Maharaj says, Naisham matistavad orukarma angrim sprashtaha anartho pagamo yada artha mahiyasam padrajo abhishekam nishkanchananam nan vrinitayava. Padrajo abhishekam. A pure devotee is niskanchan. He has no material desires to enjoy the material world. One has to take shelter of such a pure devotee in order to attain his qualities. Devotee's qualities. The pure devotee is always free from cultures of Maya and her influence. Now I am coming back to this. Certainly a pure devotee's association is necessary in order to obtain the loving service of Lord. Anybody can go into depth of this statement and make it clear? Yes, welcome. Yes. The word is loving service. It means awakening of the bhav bhakti. It means achievement of the prema bhakti. So what is that which a Vaishnava bestow? Then our love of God or bhav bhakti manifest. That is actually the depth of this statement. Anybody remember? I'm just giving you a hint. It is in Nectar of Devotion. What is bestowed by a pure devotee as a mercy that one awaken the bhav bhakti?
Is it about Rupanuga Bhakti, spontaneous loving service and awakening of our original Swarupa?
That's all right, but what is that which has to come from pure devotee in our heart that we awaken the love of God?
The seed of the devotional creeper?
Sorry?
The seed of the devotional creeper?
It's already there. Seed of devotional service is given by a spiritual master. What is that seed?
Bhakti Lata Bija.
What is that seed? My question is, what is that Bhakti Lata Bij?
That's the instructions of the spiritual master.
That's right. That is right. Rules and regulation of the devotional service given by a spiritual master is the seed of devotional service. But how? This is a rules and regulation of devotional service. That means Vedi Sadhan Bhakti. But love of God is only awakened bhav bhakti when something else is awarded by a pure devotee. What is that?
Association.
Sorry, say again, Parikshit.
Prem bhava. Prem bhava.
Prem bhav. Prem we want to awaken.
Yes. Yes.
This is a verse actually, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, with the two words. And the two words are Samvit and Haladini Shakti. When they come from pure devotee's heart and enter the heart of a recipient, then the Bhav Bhakti awakens. The Samvit Shakti make us know Krishna, and Haladini Shakti give us bliss of service of Krishna. Have you ever read this in Nectar of Devotion? You remember? It's coming in your faint memory somewhere. Samvit and Haladini Shakti. Giriraj Maharaj, when he was teaching this, he said, you may have the flour to make a dough, you may have the all ingredients to make the masala, you can make a nice samosa, but you don't have a ghee or oven to bake, your samosa is not ready. So similarly, we have Vaidhi Bhakti to make a samosa ready. But we need a ghee or oven to bake it. That we don't have. Now the one who has that, we have to beg from him. If he gives us, then our samosa will be ready. So there is actually the depth of this purport is that one. Simply living with the devotees, going to the excursion, seeing the sight and taking prasad and a Govinda is not devotee association actually. That is not devotee association. That is all right. It's a good association. But the really sadhu sangha means the Samvit and Haladini Shakti of some merciful sadhu buys Mat Sevaya. When we render service and he blesses us with that, then actually our Bhav Bhakti will manifest. Like seed is there, but you need the light and water for sprouting. So these two energies are most importantly required for that. Verse 15. O Lord, you perform many wonderful activities. Our only aim was to acquire a son by performing this great sacrifice. Therefore our intelligences are very sharp. We are not experienced in ascertaining life's goal. By inviting you to this negligible sacrifice for some material motives, we have certainly committed a great offense at your Lord's feet. Therefore, O Lord of the Lord, please excuse our offense because of your causeless mercy and equal mind. O performer of many actions, Vav Tava Punara Adbhar Kartur. I think Adbhar Kartur, word to word, O Lord who perform many activities. Adbhar Kartar. Tatra Arth Dhyan Mandanam. Our intelligence is very foolish. Mandanam. Deva Helanam. We have offended you. Deva Aharasi. We worshipped you for something very insignificant. Pratibudam avidusham. These are the words used. We are not expert. O perform of many actions, Lord of Lord. I mean, we can really reach our vocabulary by seeing the Sanskrit word, which 90% we know in our language. You should tolerate the offense of a person like us, who are foolish and full of material desire, and who have called you to this sacrifice, since you are equal to all. Asking pardon for their offenses of asking for material benediction, they conclude their praise of the Lord. Finish. O perform of many activities. This means, though you rarely show yourself to Brahma, you have shown yourself to us, who are full of desires. You should tolerate the offenses of us priests, who have called you here. Avaham, because priest has to avahan, means invite Lord. And because of our foolishness and material desires, because of O Lord of the Lord, you are equal to all. Sami. Srila Prabhupada writes, the priests were certainly unhappy to have called the Supreme Lord from Vaikuntha for such an insignificant reason. A pure devotee never wants to see the Lord unnecessarily. Is there any necessity to see Lord sometime? Yes. Draupadi was in trouble. She wanted Lord to help her in couple times. And Draupadi says somewhere in Nectar of Devotion verses, Name Bhakta Pranashati Tava Pratigya. You have this promise, Krishna, and I remember this, and therefore I am keeping my life. The Lord is engaged in various activities, and the pure devotee does not want to see him whimsically. It means Lord has many pastimes going on in the spiritual world. Why we distract the Lord from herding cows in the pasturing ground with the cowherd boys and enjoying his picnic, or doing Ras dance with the gopis, or doing some wonderful pastime with Yashoda and Nanda, and we should call him for some little thing like a son, is not good. See him whimsically for his own sense gratification. The pure devotee simply depends on Lord's mercy, and when Lord is pleased, he can see him face to face. The Lord is unseen even by the demigod like Brahma and Lord Shiva. By calling on the Supreme Lord, these priests of the Nabi Maharaj proved themselves unintelligent. Calling upon Supreme Lord means in the prayers in a yajna they call Avahami Vishnu Avahami. I am inviting you, Vishnu, please come. Nonetheless, the Lord came out of his causeless mercy. All of them therefore wanted to be excused by the Lord. Worship of the Supreme Lord for the material gain is not approved by authorities. Chaturvidha bhajante mam jana sukriti arjuna arto jagya surartharthi jnani cha bharta rishabha. So, Prabhupada writes this verse, you know this verse, but Prabhupada writes, initiation into bhakti begins when one is in distressed condition. Initiation into bhakti doesn't mean to be initiated. It means beginning of the bhakti. Nonetheless, people who approach the Lord in this way are not actually devotee. They are accepted as Sukritina, pious, due to their inquiring about absolute truth, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, not knowing the various activities and engagement of the Lord. Such people unnecessarily disturb the Lord for material gain. However, the Lord is so kind that even though disturbed, he fulfills the desires of such beggars. The pure devotee is anyabhyalashita sunya. He has no motives behind his worship. He is not conducted by the influence of Maya in the form of karma and jnana. Karma is bodily activities, jnana is mental activities. The pure devotee is always prepared to execute the order of the Lord without personal consideration. The Ritvija, the priest at the sacrifice, knew very well the distinction between karma and bhakti. And because they consider themselves under the influence of karma, fruity activity, they begged the Lord's pardon. They knew that the Lord had been invited to come for some paltry reason. Verse 16, Sukdev Goswami is speaking. Sukdev Goswami said, the priests who were even worshipped by King Nabhi, the emperor of the Bharatvarsh, offered prayers in prose. Generally they were in poetry, and bowed down at the Lord's lotus feet. The Lord of the Lord, the ruler of the demigod, was very pleased with them, and he began to speak as follows. Iti nigade na abhishushto yamano Bhagavan animisha rishabho. Animisha rishabho. Bhagavan animisha rishabho, chief of all demigod. Varshadhara. Varshadhar is a Nabi Maharaj, the emperor of the Jambu Deep. Abhivadita abhivandita charana sadhya idam aha. Beautiful. Sukdev Goswami said, the Supreme Lord, protector of the all devatas, thus praised by prose after being addressed by the king Nabi, who worshipped the Lord's feet, then he spoke with compassion. The Lord thus praised by prose, addressed by King Nabi Varshadhara, whose feet were worshipped by him, means Nabi worshipped the lotus feet of Lord, then he spoke. So where is the word prose? Nigadena. Nigadena means in a prose. Nigad is a prose. Okay, verse 17, Shri Bhagavan Vacha. Supreme Personality Godhead replied, O great sages, I am certainly very pleased with your prayers. You are all truthful. You have prayed for the benediction of a son like me for King Nabi. But this is very difficult to obtain. Since I am the Supreme Person without a second, and since no one is equal to me, another personality like me is not possible to find. In any case, because you are all qualified Brahmanas, your vibration should not prove untrue. I consider the Brahmanas who are well qualified with Brahmanical qualities to be as good as my own mouth. Brahmavado na mrsha bhavitam. The words of the Brahman will never become untrue. Mrsha, false. Aharati mayeva hi mukham yad dveja devakulam. Devakulam, qualified Brahmans, are my mouth. Maya dirsho, like me you will not get son. Avitatha girbhi. Avitatha girbhi means the words which cannot be untrue. Abhirupa means similar. I alone am similar to myself, since I am the Lord and no one else is. Kevalyat. This group of Brahmans who are like devatas among the Brahmans is my mouth. The word avitath girbhi means they whose spoken vibration cannot be nullified. The Brahmanas, Dveja, are given a chance by the Shastric regulation to become almost as powerful as Supreme Lord. Whatever a Brahman speaks cannot be nullified or changed in any circumstances. According to the Vedic injunction, a Brahman is the mouth of the personality of Godhead. Therefore, in all rituals, a Brahman is offered food, Brahman Bhojan. Because when a Brahman eats, it is considered their Lord, Supreme Lord himself eats. Similarly, whatever a Brahman speaks about cannot be changed. It must act. The learned sages who were priests at Maharaj Nabi's sacrifice were not only Brahman, but were so qualified that they were like devatas, demigod, or God himself. If this were not the case, how could they invite Lord Vishnu to come to the sacrificial arena? God is one. God does not belong to this or that religion. In Kali Yuga, different religious sects consider their God to be different from the God of others. But that is not possible. God is one. He is appreciated according to different angles of vision. In this verse, the word kevalyat means God, that God has no competitor. There is only one God. In Sweta Shvatra Upanishad 6.8, it is said, Natad samascha adhikasta drishyate. No one is found to be equal to him or greater than him. That is the definition of God. So, The verse is more describing the qualities of the Brahmanas, and Brahmanas are mouth of a Supreme Lord. Anywhere else you read this? Brahmanas are the mouth of the Lord. You have read this anywhere? Huh? You remember?
I heard that you feed the Brahmanas, then Lord means you feed Lord Krishna by feeding the Brahmanas.
That's all right. Where you read this in your some other educational curriculum? Again, nectar of devotion. And Srila Prabhupada has warned, Brahmans are mouth, yes. But mouth has another function also. They should not only eat on behalf of Krishna, but they should speak also Krishna Katha. Prabhupada is warned in this sense.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Prabhuji, I remember from Chaitanya Charitamrita that once Advaita Acharya, he had arranged one Shraddha ceremony for his father. And he fed Haridas Thakur first. At that time, Haridas Thakur said, why you are feeding me instead of feeding the Brahmins? Then he said that by feeding one Vaishnava is equal to the one feeding 1,000 of Brahmins. That's what, because that's what is one instance regarding the Brahmana.
Okay, generally the Lord's mouth is considered the fire of the yajna and a mouth of a Brahman. The Lord is being fed either through yajna or through the Brahman's mouth. But Prabhupada has told Brahman should accept the prasad only if he preach. If he is not using the mouth for preaching, then he has no right to only honor prasad. And there's a wonderful, I will say, a true wonderful story. The Jaipur Maharaja is actually Nimbark Vaishnava. Though he was worshipping the deities of the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. So he used to always have a nice fire sacrifice by qualified Brahmanas, and was having always a very condensed milk with saffron and all dry fruits for the fire sacrifice. The Brahmanas were doing this, but this nice kheer was so nicely fragrant that they become tempted to really taste it. So they could not resist one day. They only ate 2 spoons and a yajna and rest this divided among themselves and ate. In the night the king has a dream. Lord appeared and said, today I am very satisfied by your yajna. The next day, Lord called all the priests. He said, how did you do yajna yesterday? Oh, they were afraid that some spy might have noted that we have eaten all the sweet rice. So they said, if we tell wrong, then we will be double punished. They said, my dear Lord Maharaj, yesterday we were so much tempted that we only put a little portion in the sacrifice, rest we all honored the prasad. Maharaj said, God told me today he is satisfied. It means I should also give the double quantity, one for the yajna and one for the Brahman. So then the king used to give the double paraphernalia, one for the Lord and one for the yajna. So the Brahmans should be always fed, provided the Brahmans have Brahmanical qualities and they speak about Brahm or Supreme Lord. Now we are reading the verse 17. Since I cannot find anyone equal to me, I shall personally expand myself into the plenary portion and thus advent myself in the womb of Meru Devi, the wife of Maharaj Nabi, the son of Agnidhar. Okay, Srila Prabhupada's purport. This is an example of omnipotence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is all powerful. Although he is one without a second, he extends himself by swans, means Vishnu Tattva, his personal expansion, and sometime by Vibhinansa, as his empowered incarnations, or his separated expansions. Lord Vishnu herein agrees to send his personal expansions as the son of Meru Devi, the wife of Maharaj Nabi, means a Vishnu Tattva, who is the son of Agnidhar. The Ritvij, the priest, knew that God is one, yet they prayed for the Supreme Lord to become son of Maharaj Nabi, to let the world know that the absolute truth, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is one without a second. When he incarnates, he expands himself in different potencies, so he can be at many places. This is not difficult for Lord. We can see in a dramas, a same actor is doing a double role. So that is, if it is possible for a common man to do that, why not Lord can do that? The next verse 19. Sukdev Goswami continued, after saying this, Lord disappeared. The wife of King Nabi, Queen Meru Devi, was sitting by the side of her husband, and consequently she could hear everything the Supreme Lord had spoken. According to the Vedic injunction, Prabhupada is taking a principle. The principle is the yajna is performed by the qualified grasta, both husband and wife. So much so that when Sita was not available with Krishna and he was Ram, and he was performing yajna, he has to make a golden Sita. So according to Vedic injunction, one should perform sacrifice in the company of one's own wife. Sab patni ko dharmam acharet. Religious rituals should be performed with one's wife. Therefore, Maharaj Nabi conducted his great sacrifice with his wife by his side. The last verse of today's session. O Vishnu Datta, Parikshit Maharaj, Vishnu Datta, his name is Vishnu Datta, Vishnu Rat. The Supreme Personality of Godhead was pleased by great sages at that sacrifice. Consequently, Lord decided to personally exhibit the method of executing religious principle, as observed by the brahmacharis, sannyasis, vanprastha and grasta engage in rituals, and also satisfy Maharaj Nabi's desire. What it means actually. Consequently, he appeared as the son of Meru Devi in his original spiritual form, which is above the modes of material nature. Exhibit the method of executing religious principles. So, this is the purpose of Rishabh Dev's incarnation. What is the word here in Sanskrit? Sharmana means varna and ashram. Principle of dharman darshatu kama. O King Parishad, satisfied with the great sin, wanting to please King Nabi and desiring to show the path of naked performance of austerity. Naked performance of austerity is like Rishabh was lying naked and doing austerities in his own pastime. Who follow scripture and remain celibate. The Lord then appeared with a body of a Shuddha Sattva in the womb of Meru Devi, who was situated in the inner chambers of the palace. O Parikshit, Vishnu Datta. The Lord appeared in Meru Devi, who remained in the inner chamber. Tad avrodhayane. He desired to show the principle of naked benediction, mendicants. Principle of naked mendicants. Actually, this has been imitated by the Jainis afterwards, and they become Digambar. It's called Digambar, means having all the direction as a cloth, means naked. Digambar means naked. But children and fools are also naked. This is a question asked. Children and fools are also naked. To qualify that, he said that they are performed by austerities. They are naked by austerities. But atheists also perform austerities. To qualify this further, he says that they are sages acting with knowledge according to the scripture. who do not fall from celibacy. They are brahmachari. The Lord would appear with a body made of Shuddha Sattva, Shukalaya. Srila Prabhupada's purport. When the Supreme Lord appeared or descended as an incarnation within this material world, He does not accept a body made of three modes of material nature. Mayavadi philosophers say that the impersonal God appears in this material world by accepting a body in the Sattva Gun. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur stated that the word Shukla means consisting of Shuddha Sattva. Lord Vishnu descended in Shuddha Sattva. The Shuddha Sattva refers to Sattva Guna, which is never contaminated. In this material world, even the mode of goodness is contaminated by tinge of Rajo and Guna and Tamo Guna. When the Sattva is never contaminated by Rajo Guna or Tamo Guna, it's called Shuddha Sattva. Sattvam Vishuddham Vasudeva Shabdyataye. That is the platform of Vasudeva, whereby the Supreme Personality Godhead Vasudeva can be experienced. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says himself, Yada yada hi dharmasya glani bhavati bharata abhyotadama dharmatadaatmanam surjami va aham. Unlike the ordinary living entity, the Supreme Lord is not forced by the modes of material nature to appear. He appears dharman darashyatu kama. Dharman darashyatu kama. This is the word of the verse. To show how to execute function of human being. The word dharma is meant for human beings and is never used in connection with the being inferior to human beings such as animals. Unfortunately, without being guided by the Supreme Lord, human beings sometimes manufacture a process of dharma by concoction. Prabhupada is hinting towards Jainism. Actually, dharma cannot be made by man. Dharmatu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. Dharma is given by Supreme Personality Godhead, just as law is given by the state government. Man-made dharma has no meaning. Srimad Bhagavatam referred to man-made dharma as Kaitava dharma, cheating religion. The Supreme Lord sent an avatar to teach human society the proper way to execute religious principles. Such religious principles are Bhakti Marg. As the Supreme Lord himself says in Bhagavad Gita, Sarva Dharman Paritaja Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja. The son of Maharaj Navi Rishabdev appeared on this earth to preach the principle of religion. That will be explained in the 5th chapter of the 5th canto. That's teaching of Rishabdev. Pointed to Maharaj Bharata, the eldest son of Rishabdev. And these are teaching are for whole Bharatvarsh. So here we finish our session of 3 chapters. Now you are welcome to ask question, or else you are welcome to comment anything you want to say. We were together in this Bhakti Vaibhava study for 5 sessions. We did the 3 chapter. I think 1 session we are escaping. We have done prior in a little more fast. Yes, Karuna Didi, your hand is up. What is your question?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please explain. We have one Purvasada question, like you compare King Navi's and King Agnidhara's respective methods to attain their desired goal. That we see a comparison between chapter 2 and 3.
So you can compare both, because we have discussed, I think, previous day, that the Agnidhar wanted a son also, but his more desire was to have the son and a wife particularly. They can take him to the Pitraloka, and he was more like for enjoyment, while on the other side Nabhi was wanting a son like a god to execute the principle of dharma, and the results are completely different. Agnidhar went to the Pitralok, and Nabhi got a Supreme Lord as a son, and a lot more we can learn from this. I think you compare both, find out some words in the verses, and see the difference between the two.
Sure. Thank you, Prabhuji. And I have one more question.
Yes?
I think that the priest of Navi, they were assembled. And of course, King Navi had a very honorable desire that not to have a son like Supreme Lord. Then how come they become unsatisfied with such type of prayers? Means the question is, priest of Navi, King Navi, they are ashamed because of the king's ulterior motives, something. So, because in text number 15, Prabhupada clearly explained that pure devotees, they don't want to see Krishna even because they don't want to disturb Krishna because he is busy in so many affairs. So, please throw some light about this.
So this is what Prabhupada is speaking of pure devotee and Krishna. And here is a Nabhi who is not a pure devotee, and he is inviting a expansion of Krishna, not Krishna. So basically speaking, there is a need of incarnation to teach as a father to the children. Rishabdev has 100 sons, and he was teaching to the 100 sons. So there was a purpose for teaching, and he needed that. So what Srila Prabhupada is comparing the pure devotee and Krishna. And this sub-chapter is discussing the creation. And in creation there are so many, and Supreme Lord has to create, he has to maintain, and he has to provide the place for creation, and he has also to give the direction for creation. Krishna has no such business. Krishna only comes to play with his devotees and invite others to be attracted to him by love. So what Srila Prabhupada is comparing actually with the pure devotee of Krishna and Krishna, not with the other incarnation and other devotees. They have a desire only as high as Vaikuntha. So there is a little more. See, Prabhupada is comparing pure devotion with the present context. Even in 10th canto, Prabhupada says Vasudeva has not a pure desire. He did the austerities and got 3 times he forced Lord to appear as a son. So Srila Prabhupada is actually preaching to us that we should not have such desire. But these are a pastime of the Lord. If this desire of the Nabhi is also the pastime of the Lord, is a Maya Shakti. It's not Maya Shakti actually. It's actually Yoga Maya Shakti. But is there a humbleness they are saying is a Maya Shakti? How can Maya Shakti will inspire Nabhi to ask Lord as a son? Not possible. But definitely Agnidhara has a little Maya Shakti's influence, though he wanted the Pitralok for enjoyment like a heaven. Not he was. So there is a difference between the two. And we know one is specific word. Agnidhar, his lusty desire was because of his father at that time. Priyavarth has the lusty desire, as the one commentator has said. That point we have to write. While the Nabhi's priest, the priest of Nabhi were qualified Brahman better than demigods, even equivalent to God in quality, So they invited Lord. So there is a difference of the priest of the two. Difference in the qualities of the priest of the two. Difference in the motives of the two. Difference in the goal of the two. And the difference in the result of the two. So, Shyampriya, what is your question?
Krishna. This is regarding, I need some more clarification on Abhilasita, where a devotee, a pure devotee, sometimes in emergency asks for the protection of
That
the
is
Lord.
called Abhilasha, that is not Abhilashita. Abhilashita means a nature of repeated asking for something material, that is Abhilashita. Abhilasha is sudden, spontaneous, unintentional desire in a dangerous situation for protection, that is not against bhakti.
So, Prabhu, when we are chanting the prayers of Lord Nrsingadev, as a one, I am a neophyte stage, and second, I am asking for protection. So, is this also
We ask for
against-
protection of our bhakti. There is not material desire. Bhakta Vighan Vinashik Nrsingadev Bhagavan.
Otherwise, for the body protection and all these things will
No,
fall under.
that is automatically. Prabhupada asked first time his disciple to pray to Nrsingadev to save their spiritual master because he has not finished his work. And then the Nrsingadev prayer started. And then Srila Prabhupada, then so many, the Gundas were attacking the temple. And Prabhupada said, you chant Hare Krishna, the Nrsingadev every day to get protection from the bad elements that we can perform our bhakti. So this has come Nrsinga prayer because of that in ISKCON, step by step. Upendra Pal, what is your question?
Yes, Prabhu, I got the answer. You gave just right now. I got the answer. Okay, thank you, Prabhu. Yes, that was my question.
Thank you very much.
Abhilasha.
Anybody has any other question or comment? Anyway, I think you have already done 4 cantos. How was you? Oh, you have a list who will read today, and I never asked anybody to read today, right? I saw the chat. So yes, Parikshit, your hand is up.
Yes, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. So just we would like to, since this is the last class with you today, Prabhuji, we would like to thank you so very much from our bottom of our hearts that you have given us so much wonderful time and association to all of us. And despite it must be very tiring for you to read for almost 2 to 3 hours, but still you are reading and explaining practically each and every word, each and every line in between so many different meanings. So that is really wonderful. And a very unique thing that I really appreciate is that you give us an insight into the thought of Srila Prabhupada, the mood of Srila Prabhupada while writing the purports, and a very unique way of how we should be studying or reading Srila Prabhupada's purports. So thank you very much, Prabhuji, and we would expect and request at your lotus feet that please give us more of your association in further units also. I think other students also want to say a few words. Just Shyam Gopal Prabhu and Shyam Priya Mataji and others can go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Shyam Gopal Prabhuji, yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam, please accept my humble obeisances.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
I want to say to very special thank you for you. Because when I first time meet you, when I first time see you, I am from Russia. I am from Siberia.
Oh, Siberia. Where are you? I want to see. I'm missing Siberia for 3 years now. Hey, Shama, Hariwal. Oh, yeah. Which part of Siberia you are?
Altai.
Oh, Altai Festival. I was 3-4 times there.
Yes, I know. I first time see you there.
Okay.
And when I first time see you, before your class, before when I visit your first class, I all time thinking, oh, this is explanation, this is Sanskrit, this is too much jnana, why we did this, oh, what's happening? But when I hear how you explain the beauty of Sanskrit, of the world of these words, I became very interesting and I start to very serious and deeply read Srimad Bhagavatam. And after this meeting, now I am here in Bhakti Vaibhava, study under your guidance. I do in service in Ministry of Education, and when I have some difficult moments, I remember what is the Bhagavatam for you, and this has given me big inspiration. And now I'm very fortunate. I'm having your class last 3 weeks, and thank you very much, Prabhu, for this your small inspiration in all my life.
Hey, Sham Gopal, hey, Siberia. I'm Siberia. I'm Russia wala. Okay. Ekanta is another student in our Bhakti in VIH. She's also doing Bhakti Vaibhava. We are doing 4th canto with them.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Sham Gopal. Thank you very much. Yes, Sita Thakurani and Sham Priya.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes.
Dandit Pranam. Thank you for all your explanations. I personally like your Sanskrit explanation because every time we cannot have such kind of explanations. So I really relish that. And your explanation, the mood of Srila Prabhupada in the purport, is also very heart-touching. And in the class, when asked by you that how you practice Bhakti Yoga, how humbly you can explain that I am so lazy person, only in the association of a Bhagavatam and reading with you all Vaishnavas, may I can get benefited like that you have. This is a wonderful experience. Thank you so much.
Anyway, this 90% of the Sanskrit word language and the word are in your language. If you really, really realize this, you will relish it. You will be surprised. I never studied Hindi. I never studied Sanskrit. I am reading only from English. I never had the ka, kha, ga, ga, nothing. I only Urdu. I studied Sindhi and Urdu, and I am reading from English. But I'm grateful to Prabhupada that he has given word to word, so it is easy. Immediately in 1 minute you can see the Sanskrit word, see the word to word, and you can see, oh, I know in my language this is the word. It's not a really a strange word. So this will give you really that you are reading with understanding. It's nothing, something will disappear from your world.
And your homework, what you have given, it's really helped for us. That the particular point we have write so detailed things. It's really very relishing. Thank you so much.
There was one Sanskrit word, Atpatra.
Atpatra. Okay.
It means umbrella. The one which protect you from the sun is called Atpatra.
Okay.
So when you think At difficulty, Patra, something which is something there. So Sanskrit will really somehow it is within you. You have to bring it out.
Okay.
Anyway, somehow I have bad habit to read the whole purport.
It is wonderful, Prabhuji. I really relish it. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Shampriya, what you have to say something?
My journey with you as a teacher first began in 2003 when you were giving discourses on ISKCON TV, on TV. That was my only association at that time. So 10 years later in VIH, you were my teacher in Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah, I remember in VIH you were a student, right?
Yes. And again, my parents are also your students from Noida. You were teaching last year, so I was thinking when I will get your association. So I'm very, very much honored, Prabhuji, that you are a teacher. I really exponentially it has increased the clarity and in-depth of knowledge, whatever you have been teaching. So I'm very, very grateful to you. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
So you all pray for me, Hare Krishna.
We need your blessings and
No,
prayers, Prabhuji, so that we can remain on this.
Yeah, I think Mahaprabhu Kripa Das one to have a hand up. Anyway, this morning I had a class 6 to 8. Already I finished one class with Bhakti Shastri. The next class which I am having with you. Yes, Mahaprabhu Kripa Das.
Hare Krishna. I had met you when you had come to East of Kailash temple in New Delhi. You were staying in the guest house, along with your family. So I had come to your room and I had spent some time with you. You may have forgotten me. So it is such a great privilege that you are teaching us.
Hey,
Very, very
Mahaprabhu
uplifting.
Kripadas.
Thank you so
Okay.
much. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mahaprabhuji. You remember all this. Thank you very much. So now you are going to the further study of the fifth canto, chapter 4 will be Rishabh. There is some activity, but fifth is most important. Teaching of Lord Rishabh is more important. Up to 14th chapter is Lord philosophy, and then it is a very difficult portion. Really, whole geography and astronomy, that will be little time demanding. Let's see. Well, 17, 18 or 19. 19 are best chapter. But then after that is little difficult. Hare Krishna. Anyway, if so Krishna desire and I have courage, and say courage means the strength and time, I can sometime again we can join. Otherwise, whatever Krishna desire. Thank you very much. Pray for me. Hare Krishna. Accept blessing of Krishna, Balaram and Gaur Nitai. Radha Shyam Sundar ki jai. Pancha kalpatrubhyasya kripa sindhu vyayevacha patitanam pavnebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namo. Oh yeah, this commentary by the Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, if you read and then you read Prabhupada, you see how Prabhupada is putting things exactly where it is needed. It will be more useful for understanding. I have only one commentary, the others commentaries on 10th canto, there are other commentaries available. But anyway, let's see what's Krishna's plan. We can study more again. Thank you very much. Hari Bol.